Whew. I'm gonna try to get through this whole video without crying. But if I do, just know, so I said I was gonna wait, but this is something that I just had to share. Just only not because of the news, but because of the fact that God is amazing. Like, just beyond words amazing. I'm still trying to gather myself from just what I just found out and everything that has happened in the past 6 months, 2 years, even 10 years. When I was watching my pastor preach on YouTube, which is something I do often when I'm feeling, like I need the word. And he was talking about sharing your testimony and defending against the wiles of the devil. And I thought to myself this quote: a testimony is the greatest defense in a debate about what God can do. And this was right when I got off work. And I kept saying that quote in my head. I was like, a testimony is the greatest defense in a debate about what God can do. Because there is no greater defense than your testimony. And so the past, I'm trying, y'all, I'm trying. The past 6 months, I've been quiet, or 6-ish months. The Trouble Movement has been quiet. I haven't been doing much with it. I have been doing much with it. I just haven't been doing a lot publicly with it. And it was because I was in the process of making the Trouble Movement a 501c3 organization. What is a 501c3 nonprofit organization? It's basically a federal status that allows us to get grant funding, federal funding. People can donate and it's tax deductible. We can get cheaper rates on advertising, if not free. Go to the store and no sales tax. Like, it's basically the status that every nonprofit wants to have. It's that backbone, that weight that everybody wants to have. And so I worked for 6 months towards this. Now, mind you, I lost my grandmother, the closest person to me. And my mom doesn't even take offense to this. The closest person to me was my grandmother. And she died in July. And to have to create and grow something that's bigger than me when I'm dealing with the biggest loss I've dealt with in my life. And, you guys, some of you have read Trouble. So you know the things that I've been through. And if you don't, you need to read Trouble. So to have to grow something and not give up on my dreams when the biggest tragedy that could have ever happened to me, I can't tell y'all how I made it. But I really can, because God is phenomenal. And if it was not for him, I would not be sitting here right now. And I had to share that. Because if you don't get one thing from this, if you don't even see this, don't say that I didn't tell you that God is amazing. Don't say that I didn't warn you that the effectual fervent prayer of the righteous availeth much. Because I've been praying on hands and knees for this, and to found my own 501c3 nonprofit organization to put my life in the hands of the world so everybody can know, to build something on my back by myself and not give up in the process after losing my grandmother and my grandfather. It's almost impossible. I keep looking back and I'm thinking, like, how? Like, if y'all would know, because I don't share a lot. Y'all know I write everything out. And yes, when Trouble 2 drops, you know the details. But if you could have been a fly on the wall in this apartment when I broke down in this living room and cried because I wanted to give up so much. I wanted to give up so bad because it was hard. It was hard, but I kept telling myself, John 16:33, in this world, You will have tribulation, but be of good cheer, for I have overcome the world. I had to keep telling myself that. So, the last 6 months, right after my grandmother died, I put together a team. I went to one of my friends. I said, you know what? I really want the Trouble Movement to be a nonprofit organization, because I didn't sell as many books as I would have wanted to. And I'm a very honest person. I hate when people kind of say, like, watch what you say, or maybe you shouldn't have said that, or it's not good for your image. My image is being honest. And I'm honest enough to say that I didn't sell as many books as I wanted to. So my original goal was to drop this book, and this book was going to fund this organization. And it was the money I got from books, I was going to host events, and I was going to have all these activities, and I was going to change the world. But it didn't happen like that. So here I am in this position, like, okay, how am I going to change the world with this movement? How am I going to create this organization, and I don't have any money? I don't have anything. I don't have any resources. You need money to do everything. There's nothing you can't do with money. And I'm sorry if I'm breaking up, my Wi-Fi sucks. But so I said, friend, I won't say her name. I really need to turn the Trouble Movement into a nonprofit organization, and not just a Texas nonprofit, because we got that status about a month ago. I need it to be a 501c3. I need for everything that I've put into this video into this organization to really be able to do things. I need to be able to do certain things, and there is only so much I can do with the money in my pocket. And she said, okay, I like the idea. So the first thing I had to do was come up with a board of directors. I had to find a group of people who were willing to give me their time and put in effort for no compensation to help me build my baby. This is my baby. The Trouble Movement is my baby. If you know me, you know nothing matters more to me than the Trouble Movement. Besides family, friends, and God, all that stuff. We're talking about goals, dreams, reality. The Trouble Movement is everything to me, and everybody knows that. So I had to find a group of people who were just as passionate about what I'm trying to do as me. And that's not easy, especially with the generation we got today. Because I guarantee you, everybody who needs to be watching this video is not watching this video right now. Everybody who needs to be listening is not listening. Everybody who needs to know that God is there through everything and he will restore you are not watching this video. They're somewhere doing something else when they should be paying attention. Because how many of us have dreams and we see them happening in the future? We're like, this is what it's going to be. In 10 years, I'm going to be this. I had a dream 2 years ago. Not even 2 years ago. 6 months ago. I had a dream that I was going to be a founder of a nonprofit organization, that I was going to be able to change and help people and not have to worry about how I was going to do it. How many people can say that that actually happened? Because God will make a way. So, I'm sorry, I just had to really get that out. So back to my story. So I had to find a group of people that were willing to put in the time and effort into building this just as much as me. So I found a group of 6 or 7 people whose names I'm still not going to release until our fundraising gala in March. So you guys have to wait all the way until March 4th of next year to find out who helped me do this. But I just wanted for one stop and thank them so much for everything that they've done. They have dealt with me, and for the people who really know me, know it's not easy to put up with me. And they have been there. They have given me their time. These people have jobs. Some of them in school. Like, one of them is studying for the CPA exam. Like, they have things that they could be doing other than giving me their time and giving the Trouble Movement their time. But they have taken time out of their lives with no compensation, out of the kindness in their heart, to help me build this. So I really want to say thank you to them. And I can't wait till y'all find out who it is. But I went to them. We went and started in July, and we started doing this. We went through the process, all the legal stuff. We did the Texas nonprofit, got that status back. And then the big thing was the 501c3. It's not cheap getting it. It's not easy getting it. It's stressful. Originally, when we did our nonprofit for state, we got denied because I forgot to sign the paper. Yes, I'm telling the world. I was so stressed and so tired, I forgot to put my signature on the application. That's just how tired I was. So we resubmitted, got it back in 2 days. So I submitted the 501c3 application maybe a week or two ago. And we have this talent show coming up, Men of Many Talents, on November 19th. If you guys not coming, you should come. I'm doing a showcase for just men. It's the start of our new young men's program. And it's going to be on November 19th from 5 to 7 at P's Daiquiri Lounge. And if you are a man between the age of 18 and 25, really 13 to 25, and you have a talent, or if you know somebody who has a talent, then please, please, please tell them to send their info to info@thetroublemovement.org. Got that out the way. So here I am planning a two-part talent show, a gala that's going to be huge, and more events. And I had roughly, I had a safe amount in my savings account, but it's my savings account. And I told my treasurer, I finally, for the longest, I kept it quiet, but I finally had to break down and realize that I don't have any money. And, my mom tells me all the time, Miranda, you keep putting your money and everything you got into this movement. What you gonna do? You still got bills to pay. You have to live. And I was literally giving the Trouble Movement everything I had. So I had to be honest enough to tell my team, y'all listen, we ain't got it. We ain't got it. The financials for what we trying to do is, my savings is gone. I spent all of it. It's gone. And I spent most of it on the Trouble Movement. And so, I'm sitting here and I'm panicking and I'm like crying. And I'm like, how are we going how are we going to do this? How is there going to be some type of financial resource or something? I kept thinking to myself, 501c3 is coming soon. I prayed about it every day. I was like, God will provide. Matthew 6:33, but seek first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all things will be added to you. I said it to myself over and over every night. I'm in the prayer closet like, Lord, please make a way. I ain't gonna be able to do it. I'm about this close. I'm about to give up. I can't. I just can't. And I prayed, and Sharice said her name, but a friend of mine came up with an idea to have a run or a fundraising event that we can raise money for, an event that's like 2 weeks after that. And I'm like, we sitting here scrambling, trying to figure out how we going to get this money. And I said, you know what? I'm just going to pray about it. I gave up. I got too much from now until December 10th when I graduate. There's no leeway. I can't fit nothing else in there. I'm going to be gone. I got too much stuff. I said, you know what? So I'm just praying about it. I checked the P.O. box about a week ago. Nothing was there. I said, you know what? I'm not going to get discouraged. I'm not going to worry about it. It's coming. It's coming. I just kept telling myself, it's coming. And so I told myself I wasn't going to check it every day. And as I said when I first started this video, the quote that came to me was, a testimony is the greatest defense in a debate about what God can do. And I literally, something told me, Miranda, just go check the P.O. box. Just, it's been a week. It gotta be, something has to be there. And I wasn't gonna check it. I was in the middle of washing my hair. Y'all should have seen how I went up there. I had a satin cap on. It was ridiculous. So I get there and I call my stepdaddy on the phone. I was like, okay, I'm about to open it. I'm about to open it. And lo and behold, one letter, nothing else in the box. Internal Revenue Service. I said, oh, Lord. Okay, so I couldn't even get the envelope open. I was already shaking. So I opened the envelope. This is what I wrote on it. This is what I read. I couldn't even read it right because I was just thinking in my head, this can't be real. This can't be happening. Is this I just can't. And I always told myself, when I finally open this letter, I know I'm going to cry. I know I'm going to cry and fall out in the middle of the post office. And that's exactly what I did. My stepbaby was like, calm down. I was like, I can't. It's real. Like, I was really... And before I got on Facebook, my eyes probably puffy, y'all, because I was really crying. I was in my room on hands and knees, thanking God like no other, crying. But why I was crying was because I couldn't, and I'm still having I'm probably still in shock, but I'm still having a hard time wrapping my head around the fact that to know where I used to be, you talking about a troubled teen who was tore down, low down, and dirty, ripped in shreds, tore apart to pieces, internally and externally. My soul was just all messed up. Somebody who came from sexual abuse, domestic violence, pain, suicide, depression, mental illness. And these are things that I'm still going through depression right now. Because it's not easy trying to build something. And the enemy is going to come after you more when you're trying to do great. My pastor said, a faith that can't be tested can't be trusted. And when I went to revival last night, that had been the best sermon I heard. Reverend Johnny Youngblood. Because we have to realize that tests are going to come. It's going to be hard. It's supposed to be hard. And I had to keep telling myself that. And to be that it's hard. It's hard because nobody is going to understand. Nobody is going to understand like you what it's like to work hard for your dream. Because it's your dream. It's your passion. It's your heart. It's your everything. So you are going to be the most passionate about it. Nobody's going to understand it. I don't expect anybody to understand how I feel when I say I broke my back and cried blood, sweat, and tears building a movement at 24 years old while having a job, going to grad school. I got 3 accounting clients on the side. So I got to do homework for 5 minutes. I got to do accounting for 5 minutes. It's ridiculous. My schedule is hectic. So nobody is going to understand how hard it is to keep going in life and at the same time build something great and not give up while you're doing it and not realize that the lady who made you who you are, who built you and who gave you respect and manners and taught you how to do everything you know how to do is not even here to enjoy it. But she can see me. I had to deal with that on top of building a movement. That's why I'm crying. That's why I'm thanking God. That's why I'm on hands and knees. Because if you would have told me in July I could be doing this, and on October 26th I'd be at this spot, I would have laughed. There's no way. I just lost the most important person to me. I don't even want to speak to nobody. I lost friends because of that. But when you really dedicate yourself, and that's the point I'm trying to make in this video, is when you really trust God and when you really pray fervently and right, it will come. You might not think it's coming, and you're not gonna always know when it's coming, but it's coming. And I knew that the whole way through. I knew that. I said it's coming. My day is coming. I'm not giving up. I refuse to let the devil steal my joy. I know that there's going to be a way. No, I am dead broke. I can't afford to help people because I don't have no money. I can't build no movement because I'm broke. The movement don't have no money. We don't have nothing we need to start a nonprofit. We don't have none of it. I spent the last of our expenses on that 501c3 exempt status application. That was it. There can't be no events and talent shows and me trying to programs. I got 7 programs lined up, 7 different programs that I can't fund because I don't have no more money. But God said no. You might not think you ain't got no money. You might not think there's no way, but I got a way for you. I'm gonna make a way. I'm always gonna make a way. Because I'm Jehovah Jireh, the God who provides. As long as you have faith and believe in me, you will be fine. And that's what I'm telling y'all. It's a testimony, it's a message, it's an announcement, it's a celebration all in one. Because you are looking at Maranda Evans, the founder of a 501c3 organization, the Trouble Movement. And I guarantee you this is only the beginning. This is only the beginning, and it's going to get harder. I don't expect, just because we got this, doesn't mean that it's easy now. It's going to get harder, because the bigger this gets and the more I grow this and the more I put into this, it's going to get harder and harder and harder. I'm in the process right now of writing Trouble 2. So I got to add that in there. It's going to get difficult. Everybody not going to, we're going to have some disagreements. Something not going to go right. It's always going to be something. But through all of that, if I don't know nothing else, I know that God is amazing. I know that God will provide. That's what I do know. If I don't know anything else, I know that God will make a way. And I could just, when I get off this video, I'm telling you right now, when I come, I'm going right back to that room, and I'm going to go back to my praise session. I just had to take a break and let y'all know the way I'm feeling right now. And, everybody, thank you for your congratulations. This was not how I was planning on releasing the information. I really wasn't. I just opened the letter like an hour ago. I wasn't even planning on telling people right away, but I expect a lot of people to understand. Some do, some don't. But if y'all just understood what was going through my head now and then and in the future, it's amazing. It is. It really is. And the first thing I'm going to do is thank God. When I everything and thank God. Right now, stop what you're doing and thank God. Because the past 6 months we've been putting in this work, here it is. We've been waiting on this. We've been saying every day, but when we get our 501c3, when we get our exempt status, we're going to do this, we're going to do this, we're going to do this. And we've been waiting on it. So that's my testimony, my news, I can't stay on here with y'all too long because I got to go back to what I was doing, and I got to go back to praising the Lord and crying and do everything else I'm going to do. My mama ain't here. She on a boat in Mexico, so I can't even call her and tell her. So she gonna have to come back. And I want everybody to just know that the Trouble movement is coming. And we coming hard. Like, we've been quiet for a while, but when I tell you the stuff I got lined up, oh yeah, we coming. And it's wonderful. I ain't gonna tell y'all about Trouble 2. I ain't gonna tease y'all like that. I ain't gonna tease y'all with Trouble 2, but just know, sips coffee. Just know. That's all I'm gonna say. Dana laughing at me. Just know, Dana. Just know it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. That's all I'm saying. And once again, we are having the Men of Many Talents Showcase on November 19th and December 3rd. November 19th is for 18 to 25 men, and December 3rd is for 13 to 17. So all my teen boys, I know you do, AJ. You read Trouble 1 like 3 billion times. So all the teen boys, like, I know y'all got sons, brothers, nephews, all my men. Come on, I know y'all can rap. Y'all be sitting there rapping on Snapchat and Instagram and Facebook and all that. So go ahead and rap in front of the Houston community. Musicians, comedians. You can sing, you can dance, you can DJ. I don't care what you do. Whatever your talent is, come out and showcase it. And November 19th from 5 to 7, it'll be at T's Daiquiri Lounge in Missouri City. You have to be 18 to enter. But the December 3rd talent show, we will release the location soon, which was another issue that God's still working on me. God's still working on me. I'm trying to find a venue. And because we ain't have no money, don't forget. So that's the event that we have coming up, and there may be some stuff in between. If so, I'll let you know. If you friend me on Facebook or like the Trouble page, I post everything. We also have a new website now. TheTroubleMovement.org is our website. It is still under construction, but it is pretty much. Oh, y'all, that's another. See, I'm about to get into a whole nother tip. See, I built that website in like 2 days because one of the requirements to get a 501c3 is, well, it's not a requirement, but it's a recommendation that you have your website together, because they're not gonna just approve anybody. So here I am all night, 2 days in a row, putting this website together for the movement. So I had to separate Trouble the Book from the Trouble Movement. That's just a whole nother story. So you can visit us at thetroublemovement.org now. And since we are a 501c3 organization, I am going to make this announcement. If you would like to donate or sponsor or anything, please do so. Please let me know. It will be greatly appreciated. Y'all wait, I gotta wait for a second. I gotta get myself together before I say this. All donations are officially tax deductible. Oh my goodness, that feels so good. I'm sorry, I had to get that out. But yes, all donations are tax deductible. And see, Dana always notices my blog. I posted a new blog. I know she loves it. It's called Teen Boys, Why They Need Us. It's on troublethebook.com/blog. I encourage everybody to read it, especially if you're a guy. And especially if, because I know a lot of other people are trying to do like things with organizations and, trying to help young boys. Y'all need to read that. It's a really good article. And it was about an encounter I had at church this past Sunday and how it made me feel. Oh, this week just been good. So I know I'm silly, y'all, but yeah, please read that blog. It's really good. It's called Teen Boys, Why They Need Us on troublethebook.com/blog. So I've told you guys about our event, and just keep up to date with everything because it's about to come full force. So don't miss it. Follow me on every social media possible. Tell all your friends and family to follow me on every social media possible. The Trouble Movement on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. Maranda Evans, y'all know me. And just one thing I want everybody to remember is, even when you're going through the hardest times, even when things just are not going the way you want them to, don't give up. Don't be discouraged. Don't say, why me, Lord? And it's Teen Boys, Why We Need Them, AJ. It's the latest one. I wrote it yesterday on troublethebook.com/blog. But even when you're discouraged and when you're feeling down and you're like, why me, Lord? But see, my best friend, she's sinning all the time and she be out there doing the most, and I go to church and I'm saved, sanctified, and I don't understand why I'm going through these things. It's because you're going through them for a reason. You're going through tribulations and trial because the Bible says you will. You were born, you came in this world with affliction. When you were born, God said, yeah, I'm going to test you. I'm going to test you. I'm going to bring trials, tribulations. I'm going to make you cry. You're going to be in pain. I'm going to bring all these things unto you. But in that moment, and while these things are going on, and even after, know that if I bring you to it, I'm going to bring you through it. Just sit on that. I'm gonna just leave that right there. I'm just gonna leave that right there. If I bring you to it, I'm gonna bring you through it. It's just that simple. If not, read the book of Job. That's what revival was about last night. The Job story. Everybody read the Job story, because it's gonna come. It's gonna keep coming. It's gonna keep coming. It's gonna keep coming. You're gonna have a little moment where you're happy and everything going good. Then it's gonna keep coming and keep coming, because the same thing happened to me. But you keep your faith through all that. And you never give up. And you always pray. And everything is going to be fine. That's right, Brittany. Brittany know. I'm not, I'm just saying, I'm telling you from experience. This is really experience. And this is really what I have experienced all my life, really. But it took me about 10 years before I can realize it. And I just feel like everybody needs to know. I had to share that testimony. I'm all about sharing testimonies, because somebody could have been having a bad day today. Somebody could have been like, you know what? I just can't do this. I just can't. I can't. I ain't got no job. I ain't got no money. Like, my boyfriend cheating on me. My girl ain't loyal. It's just, it ain't right. Like, everything could just be falling apart. You never know who listening to this. You never know, even if you share it, keep sharing it, because you never know who's having a bad day. Because people don't just wake up and post on Facebook, oh, I'm having a bad day. No, that ain't what we do. How you doing, girl? I'm good. See? So, just, it's good that I'm sharing this, because it might touch somebody. I pray that it does. That's the whole point of me getting on here and saying it. So, I'm going to leave y'all alone, but I just had to get that out. I'm going to bed now, and I'm going to bed with a big smile on my face. And, AJ, can you not please put out my business on Front Street, please? Thank you very much. And thank you, everybody, for watching. See y'all later. Brittany, I know you about to text me, because I'm about to text you. And remember, the effectual fervent prayer of the righteous availeth much. And congratulations to the Trouble Movement for officially being a 501c3 organization. Yay!